Welcome back to Afterglow, episode 129. And in this one, we're going to be finally kind of wrapping up the Lunar duology with Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. This will be an interesting one because I did record with Chris from the Retro Hangover podcast, and he's very, very familiar with the Sega CD version. And I, on the other hand, never played this till last year. I started it late last year, 2025, and beat it early this year. And I did enjoy my time with it. So we're getting ready to listen in and see what my thoughts on it versus the other Chris's thoughts, who I believe he says this is possibly his favorite 16-bit role-playing game. So very interesting to see what our thoughts are going to be, considering the fact we played the same game but different, since a lot of his time was on the Sega CD, as mine was on the modern ports to Steam and whatnot. So we're going to give our patrons a shout out and listen to a little bit of music before we get to the main episodes talking about Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. Helping to bring Afterglow to you are the following patrons who have subscribed to us at the $1 tier, getting them a shout out in every episode. We have Poppy the Masked Keaton, OCD in every RPG, and Texan Toby with Big Red Flavor. If you also want to support the show through Patreon, you can just go to the show notes links. They will be in the show description. There should be a link tree there, and in that link tree you will find a link to the Patreon. But, of course, the show will always remain free to listen to. You can also help support the show just by leaving a review wherever you're listening to, be it Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify Podcasts. Just leave a review, leave a comment. That's one of the easiest ways to help the show without even having to spend a dime. But thank you for listening, and now on with the show. And welcome back. Sorry for the sound quality today. I am not in Castel del Lefco recording right now due to some technical issues with our internet. So we're recording live from the local town park. Of course, I am joined by a guest on this week's episode. This is the, should we call me Envoy of the Dick Dragon? Would that work?
Envoy of the Dick Dragon. I like that. Thank you for that.
All right. So this is Chris from Retro Hangover. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to talk about some Lunar 2. I think my favorite 16-bit RPG.
Right on. Now I got asked, did you play it in your childhood?
Yes, I did. Yes, I have.
Okay. Now, see, I played Lunar 1 in my childhood, but I did not actually play Lunar 2 until late this year.
Oh wow! Like you didn't play it at all, or
At all.
like it when I was a kid?
Did not even know it was a thing.
Okay, now that's interesting. That's wild. Like you didn't know it was a thing until recently, or you just didn't get to it?
Didn't know it was a thing as a kid. I found out about probably in my mid-20s. Keep in mind I'm 44 now. So I found about in my mid-20s, and at that point, it was already a pretty pricey game. I want to say the Sega CD version was going for over 150 or 200 even back then.
Yeah, Sega. Yeah, RPGs on any system are never going to be affordable.
Right, and I was so bummed out that I had missed it because I had gotten Lunar 1. I didn't experience it until the PlayStation version, but I got it with the big box that had like the cloth map and the big leather bound book and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh yeah.
I was bummed out that I never saw the sequel because I would have totally gotten it for the collection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had all four of them as a kid. My friend got me into Lunar, and when I got my Sega CD, and it was late. I got it late. I actually got a Sega CDX. Lunar 2, and Vi. I think it was Vi. And then hooked me, and then I definitely made sure to get Lunar 1 and Lunar 2 for the PlayStation as they came when they launched, which was with all the goodies.
Now, Vey is another game I missed out on for a long time. I never played it until, of all things, the iPhone port is where I first played Vey.
It's not a bad port, honestly. It's not the worst.
It was a unique way of playing it, in my opinion, because again, I'd never experienced a lot of the working designs games. I want to say Vey might have been even the second working designs game I had played to that point.
You talking about Vi or?
Yeah, I think it's called Vi or Vey, V-A-Y, I think is how it was spelled.
Vi, yeah.
Okay. Well, leave it to me to mispronunciate it.
They may have pronounced it differently in the real phones here, just because they didn't use, if I remember correctly, they didn't use the working designs translations or voice actors or anything.
Ah, okay.
So it was a little bit different.
But my first experience playing Lunar 2, I did send you a few messages during it. Yeah. I felt it to be a bit more grindy than Lunar 1.
I think that's fair. And I would give all credit in the world to, or discredit in the world to, working designs there. There were definitely some design choices. As someone who's played essentially both versions of it.
And you also have to keep in mind, I never played that original Sega CD version. And I never played even the PlayStation version, even when it comes to emulation for some reason. Never played it until the recent 2-pack release that came out.
Okay. So this you played it as a remaster. You're not talking about the Sega CD version today. Because I am.
Right. And that's why I wanted to bring you on too.
Good.
That way we could kind of compare and contrast a little bit, because spoilers, I prefer Lunar 1 over Lunar 2. Not saying that Lunar 2 was a bad experience. I really did love my time with it, but I still think I preferred Lunar 1.
Very. CD version or PlayStation version?
I'm sorry, you broke up there. What was that?
Sega CD version or PlayStation version?
Oh, the PlayStation version.
Lunar 1. Okay.
Yeah, no, I did play the Sega CD version of Lunar 1 through emulation, and I did like it. And there was some areas I did prefer the Sega CD version. Overall, I preferred the PS1, but soundtrack. There are certain soundtracks I feel were better on that Sega CD version, like the intro video.
Oh yeah, that slaps. The intro video is peak camp and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I saw what they were going for with the PlayStation 1 version, but I'm here like, man, that that original Sega CD version, it just hit all the right notes.
It does. It does. Pun intended. Good use of words there.
So, speaking of pun intended, going to the story of Lunar 2, the main character, the hero of the story, is of course named Hero.
Hero, yes. Little on the nose.
Yep, he does have a friend, much like Null, in the fact that it is a little flying dragon. It is more of a pink dragon, and that's actually her name, Ruby, which is close to the color of the dragon. Again, on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird how the dragon almost has like a crush on Hero.
You know, sometimes a man and his dragon fall deeply in love. Then some action happens. Look, dragons are magical creatures. You
I am
can't
learning
judge.
I'm learning so much about Retro Hangover right now.
But you know, Ruby might be a dragon.
Now, I almost expected Ruby to end up somehow with Null in this, because spoiler alert, Null being a dragon is long lived, so you kind of run into Null on your quest in this game.
Mm-hmm. Isn't she technically?
I thought Null was a guy. Now, maybe I'm wrong with that, because I was going based off the sprite work, but I thought Null was male.
Yeah, Null's a dude. I thought that like Ruby and Null ended up together.
Oh, now maybe I'm incorrect and they did. Or this could be something to do with the translation and the remaster as well.
I was pretty confident. Like at the end of the game, it was inferred that they would link up and hook up because Hero's not going to be bang. It's not going.
Right. I mean, even if Hero was around at the end of the game, I would think that Hero and Dragon parts with there might be an issue.
Might be. I mean, you don't know until you try, which is what Ruby was hoping for at the beginning of the game. Didn't end up that way, but it didn't turn out that way in the end for dear Ruby for sure.
I do feel like similar events have happened in multiple D&D games with horrible outcomes.
Are you saying people who play D&D are horny?
No, never. They're not like us podcast hosts.
No. People who play Dungeons and Dragons are deeply serious people, and would
absolutely
never pretend to try and have sex with characters in there. They're all about the mission.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. There would never be any kind of shenanigans at any D&D table. Speaking of shenanigans, our other kind of co-star main character, Lucia, a long-haired, almost god-level power at the beginning of the game, who kind of gets contained and has to build her way back up. Becomes Hero's love interest. What do you think of Lucia in this?
I mean, she's integral to the plot. As I like her as a character, but for most of the game, like as a party member, I like her as a character. I like her as the story. I dreaded her whenever she was in my party because for most of the game. So a liability, but you know, I do like the story there. I do like the arc that she goes through, just being extremely naive, really through the world and her origin.
I definitely agree with you.
Yeah,
I definitely like in battle. One of the most frustrating parts was early after her depowering, so to say. I would get in the battle and she would just run from it.
Yep.
I'm
Well,
really
you
like,
want
oh,
her to. You want her to do that. You want her to run away because that way you get more experience points because experience points are divided on the amount of characters you have in your party. So if she stays there, you get less experience points.
now see, that's where I was confused because I'm here like, I need to level this chick up because she sucks right now.
Yeah, you can't
Well,
level her up.
okay, that makes more sense then. Keep in mind, I'm not familiar with some of the behind the scenes stuff in the game. So there's probably going to be some stuff that I'm like way off on when it comes to that, like what Chris just mentioned there. Other secondary characters, Runfar, Lemina, Jean, and Leo all end up as party members in one point or another. Did you have a favorite party member?
Of those, probably Leo. Kind of, he's grown on me over the years. I also liked Lamina a lot. She's grown on me over the years too because like she's a greedy saleswoman, and it's always comical to see how hard she tries. And just over the years, I've liked her more and more. I really like Ronfar. Jean, I liked as a kid, but over time, it's like I don't like Jean as much anymore. Her
Now,
arc, it's a little corny. It's a little
th-
cringe.
th- this could be something where the game is fresh with me then, because Jean was one of my favorites. But remember, the game is still fresh with me,
Yeah.
so maybe we've got that in common there.
Like I like the humorous characters more. Like Jean's arc is very dark. It's probably the darkest of the characters who join your party because essentially she's a victim of child trafficking, of human trafficking, and she gets her revenge. I just don't think like I say revenge. I don't think like the revenge is really taken as far as it needs to be, and she pulls up. Um, don't like I almost like I to really put it. Like the transformation is it feels a little forced. It's like, oh, she goes from a dancer, now she's going to be exclusively a kung fu master, and I'm like, oh, okay. When I was a kid, I loved that, but now like I'm here, it's kind of like, well, she really found herself as a dancer, and it seemed like that was more important to her. But she would revert back to something that should be inherently traumatic, and she doesn't even really get to I mean, you defeat the person who did it to her, but doesn't feel like they really get their comeuppance.
Yeah, she was definitely quite forgiving with him in the end. I wanted to rename her Shakira though.
Just don't lie, man. Yeah, if you want to talk about a character sprite that's hot, that's G. That's G.
Yeah, for sure. I did enjoy Leo as far as his character arc because whenever I first ran into Leo, it was eye-rollingly annoying at first. But
That's why I love it.
I love how his character arc uh, changed throughout the game, and I love honestly the big storyline in this after the first game, which the first game highly religious overtones in it with the whole Temple of Althena and everything. And then this game takes that same story arc and it turns it on its head with a corrupt church running the land.
Well, let's say the first game, and it's been played the remake more recently than the original when it comes to Lunar. I would say the religious overtones, yeah, they're definitely there, but it's more, it's not as present as it is in the sequel. The sequel, like, it's just religion is a part of the world in the first game, and yes, in the remake they stress it a lot more about Athena's involvement in banishing people and keeping them away, and they're bad because Althena says they're bad, and there's some religious conversation to be had there, and they attempt to in the first one they really don't. But in the second one, it really does seem to have commentary on religion. And I mean, I'm not saying it's masterful writing or anything, but in a lot of ways, Final Fantasy X. I mean, I say Final Fantasy X. Lunar Eternal Blue, Lunar 2 does a lot of things that Final Fantasy X did later. In some ways, I think better.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you on most of that. like for Lunar 1, I felt like it had those religious overtones just because you've got Luna, who is, let's say, the reincarnation of God. She almost plays like a Jesus in that game. Yeah. Except in that game, Jesus gets corrupted. Like, okay, that's a cool twist. And then, of course,
yeah, go ahead.
And then, of course, in the second one, instead of the Jesus figurehead being corrupted, it's more or less the church as a whole being corrupted from the inside, from the top down.
Sure. Well, that's one of the things I liked about the sequel too. You know that you already said spoiler alerts. I'm just going to spoilers here. But what you find out about Athena in the second game is that she gave up her correct word is for it, but her godliness. She is no longer a deity. She has given up her divine dominion, so to speak. So the entire time, and this is what's great about the game, in terms of its storytelling and its arc, is that you're trying to help Lucia find Althena, or Lucia specifically is trying to find Althena so she can stop Zophar and return the world of Lunar to be pure or whatever, because Zophar even mentions at the end of the game that if Lucia completes her quest, that would kill all the people on Lunar. So she's looking for Althena to do what she needs to do, what her mission is, in order to, right the balance between the Silver Star and the Blue Planet. And then you find out God is dead. What do you do about that? Like, what is the game plan now? How do you accomplish your goals? How do you live in a world? How do you live in a universe where there is no God? Well, you either take control yourself as a divine being, as Lucia somewhat is. It's never really addressed if she's human or not. Okay, things with Hero later on. Or do you put your faith in humanity? Which way do you do it? Do you want to have a world with an overbearing power that relies on a central power for everything in the world? Or do you put your faith in what humanity is doing? What you find out really is that humanity's been doing it all along. So then it becomes a question, do you want to preserve the world that you have experienced, or do you want to destroy it? So it does have a lot of these philosophical questions that, because Lunar, the first one's a much simpler game, Lunar 2 attempts to have. And I think it does it a lot more credibly.
Yeah, I did enjoy the story aspects in that area. I also liked the fact that you kind of know, if you played Lunar 1 before Lunar 2, where they're looking for God, and then you see the older image of Luna come up, and immediately you're just like, oh. Because you know, once you know, it's, roughly, I think they said it's 400 years past the events of the first one.
Right.
Obviously, Alex is dead. He don't have that kind of lifespan. You don't tend to put a lot of weight and think of it, but those main characters that you grew to love in that first game are gone. And then whenever you see old lady Luna, it just kind of drives that home in a way.
Old lady Luna. You never really see old lady Luna.
Okay, this could be a remaster thing. In the remaster, there's a hollow image of Luna. She has a message for Lucia.
Oh, and yes. I wouldn't call that old lady, but she was older. I mean, I guess you're just saying now. Yeah. Gotcha.
But sorry, older Luna. She had the face line, so we're gonna go with old lady Luna. Maybe I've got them all wrong, and Lucia is a character from Dragon Ball, and she's trying to protect the Big Getty Star.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting my anime all confused. But no, I did love the fact that they kind of pushed that issue and drove it home. Another thing I really liked that caught me off guard, like I said, I didn't play this game till last year. Main bad guy named Zophar. I did not know that this game is where the Zophar's Domain website got its lineage from.
That's what turned me on to Zophar's Domain when I was a kid, because I knew what Zophar was. I'm like, oh, this guy's a Lunar fan, which is really cool. It always resonated with me for that. I wish more people do that.
That is so funny, because I'm just that's that dude's web handle, and this is his website. That's what I thought it was for the longest time.
Probably Zophar is also religious reference because there is something called like the Zohar, which is related, has some sort of religious significance. If you play Xenosaga, I think the Zohar is part of there.
I've got a buddy who's trying to get me to play the Xenosaga. I think that's like a trilogy on PlayStation 2. I have not had the time yet.
Okay, so Zohar is a foundational text of the Kabbalah.
So no relation to Zohan.
No, you don't mess with the Zohar.
Oh, okay. Want to make sure we got that right. So, like I mentioned earlier, I feel the game is grind heavy. It took me a while to learn. Like in the original game, I would fight everything to level up. I realized the bosses kind of level with you in that first game, but I didn't care because I knew the cheat code of Alex uses sword dance, everyone else keeps Alex alive, and that more or less takes care of all the bosses in the first game. This one's a bit different, where you are required to more or less run from certain enemy types.
I say that, at least I'm talking the Sega CD version. I don't remember running from anything. I do remember there was more variance and more variety in terms of how you would take care of enemies. So some of them would rely on you using magic, and some of them would rely on you using physical attacks. Of course, the enemies that relied on you using magic were always kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. But yes, there was more variety, that not everything could just be destroyed simply with hero doing battalion sword and calling it a day. It was, and now some of the final boss of, like, some of the bosses are definitely that buff everybody and just have heroes. It's not called sword dance. There's battalion sword, but there's another one that you just keep doing over and over again. One where you jump up in the air and do the sword attack, which can do massive damage. But yeah, I mean, in terms of actual enemy encounters, I would never say that you had to. And I'm speaking of the Sega CD version. You don't have to run away from everything. It's just knowing what enemies are vulnerable to what, and it loves to play with that, especially when you go to the Magic House where you're getting Lamina.
In my case, in the remaster, I felt like there were certain enemy types that I could defeat normally, and other enemy types that were I could only survive a battle or two. So the idea was to more or less run from those specific enemies whenever they come up on screen. But I don't know if that's a thing with the remaster or if a thing with the way I played the game.
Maybe a little bit of column A.
Right on. Yeah, I was not for sure because, like I said, all my experience comes from that remastered version. I did like the boss variety in this game, especially the final boss, which definitely requires some thinking to take out. You definitely can't just like go in and wail on the final boss.
Yeah, you need to have a strategy. You definitely need to have a strategy. Which for me was Lamina buffing everybody and Ronfar healing every turn. Then you have Hero doing the damage with Jean doing, attacking when she can, but also providing support if it was needed. So, like, you do need strategies going into boss fights.
No, I do find it funny that my strategy was a little different. I think it was Lamina. She has a spell, can't remember the name of it, but more or less makes the party immune to a single attack. And I would spam that every turn. I would have Jean keep her topped up on MP. Hero would be attacking, and then Runfar would just be healing and support.
Like those, I don't know if this is in the remaster because it's been so long, but like you would get certain items from each of the dragons after you would, go visit their spirits or whatever. Then you would get certain dragon abilities that you could cast. And I
Yeah.
never used them just because they were so MP dependent. Like you really had to use a ton of them in order to
And
cast
I
them.
want I want to say that immunity against one attack was one of those dragon abilities.
I think so, yeah. And I would use that from time to time. I don't know, that may have been I think that's the black dragon ability.
Can't remember off the top of my head, but
Yeah,
I
there's
do
one that was
know
that way.
I do know that was my technique for the quote unquote final boss. because if you're not ready for another spoiler, the final boss is not the end of the game.
No, you get the epilogue, which I hated as a kid. I despised it. I hated it so much. Because it was tough.
Oh yeah, if you thought you were level grinding and grindy in the first part of the game, that epilogue will really give you a workout.
Yes. I think the first time I ever played the epilogue as a kid, because I beat it, I went right into the epilogue. And no, I didn't beat it. There was a save that was at the epilogue. Because I didn't beat it originally as a kid. I never beat it originally as a kid. It's because I didn't like Lunar 2 as a kid. But I found a save with the epilogue file on it. I don't know how. I think it was actually in the ROM cart that I bought for the system. Or it was in the CDX. Not sure. But I went there and I went to the final area or whatever and immediately got nuked. Like all the enemies killed me. So that was a very short-lived experience. But what I found is that there's an area you can fight minks. There's a special mink that gives you a ton of experience, kind of like a metal slime. And you can go there as hero and keep on doing, I guess, sword dance. If you go by yourself, it gives you massive amounts of experience, and like you can level up all the way to level 99 pretty easily. And usually I also grab Lamina. So it's myself and Hero. No, it's Hero and Lamina going and just power leveling. And then when you get Leo back in your party, he's the same level as Hero. So the only two characters you don't really have to worry about are Ronfar and Jean. They'll just level up normally. And then it became a breeze.
Yeah, that was pretty close to my technique as well. I had to more or less power level in order to get through the epilogue. But it's worth it if you want the happy ending, because you do get kind of a bittersweet ending for the main part of the game, and then the epilogue will tie all those loose ends up.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're going to do. Like, how are you going to get food on the Blue Star? It's an ice planet. Like, how are they going to eat?
They're going to become androids. Like I said, it becomes the Big Getty Star.
Don't know what to do up there, man. Like, just fuck like bunnies and repopulate the Blue Star. Is that the idea? Like, the inbreeding's going to catch up with them after a while.
I mean, I'm sure that's Hero's idea. I don't know about Lucia's.
I mean, I think it's slightly attached. She was all happy to see him. I think she's down. But
she's definitely down for a little bit, but like any coupling, eventually the bedroom escapades do slow down over time.
Oh, of course. Well, they're young. Like, Hero can't be older than 18.
Oh no, premarital.
Premarital. Who's gonna marry them up there? God's dead, so it's not like they can have any religious ceremony.
I mean, technically, Lucia could probably function as a priestess.
I guess so.
I mean, maybe they've got the woodland critters still around. It'll be like Bambi.
It reminds me of the South Park.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know where you're going. So you mentioned probably your favorite of the 16-bit RPGs.
Yes, yeah.
For me personally, it lands in the upper middle. Chrono Trigger for me is still the peak, followed by Final Fantasy VI, and then followed by Lunar 1. Okay. Lunar 2, I would probably rate, and again, I'm not dissing Lunar 2. If anything, I would put Lunar 2 a little bit above Final Fantasy 4 in my rankings.
Ooh, okay.
So that being said, it's not near the bottom of the pack. We're not talking like it's a Tecmo Secret of the Stars or anything.
Yeah. It's not Earthbound.
That Earthbound, I actually rank a bit lower than most people do.
I do too. I think it's fine, but
it's a good game. It's not one of the greats.
I agree. I don't understand the obsession with it. I really don't. Fine. It's just fine.
Looking at the review scores of Lunar 2, Game Rankings Aggregator ranks it a 91%. Highest
Sure.
ranking RPG fan giving it a 99%. Next Generation at the time giving it 4 out of 5. Lowest score would be Famitsu, 24 out of 40, although Famitsu is notoriously hard on many games.
One of the biggest reasons, if this is, are we talking the Sega CD version?
In this case, the Sega CD version.
Okay. That somewhat makes sense because the Sega CD was not popular in Japan at all. Like, the Sega Genesis wasn't popular in Japan. So the Sega CD, I mean, the Sega Genesis was third place over there in the 16-bit war. So it's not surprising that Famitsu probably wouldn't care much for anything happening on the Sega CD to any sort of great extent. And Famitsu is notorious for loving their RPGs. So it doesn't shock me it didn't really appeal to their tastes. Well, there are some. I've heard that Working Designs did a lot to speed the game up and make some improvements outside of kind of hurting it in some ways for the Sega CD. I don't think like the way they heard it was all that bad. Like Working Designs is known for cleaning up a lot of things, so it could have been a worse version over there for Famitsu to play. But ultimately, it's a game that was on a niche system. At the time, you could see it not getting well received.
I do have a weird question. Do you have a physical Sega CD copy?
Yes.
Okay. Is it like the PlayStation version? Did it come with a bunch of extras, or was it just a disc in a case?
It's a disc in a case, and the best. Yeah, it's pretty much just a standard Sega CD release. It's just that manual is nice. But it's not special. It's just like a standard release.
The reason why I ask is because I am reading here in my notes. This game launched in 1994 in the U.S. on Sega CD for a price of $100.
Yep.
In 1994 money.
Yes.
For a disc game, which is notoriously some of the cheapest to manufacture. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Oh, it was a late release for the Sega CD. I mean, I'm surprised by that because we did an interview with Vic Ireland. I've talked with Vic Ireland, and he really went up against Sega's decision to make Phantasy Star $100. So if Lunar 2 came out for $100, that's kind of hilarious. Because he was saying he wasn't a fan of Phantasy Star 4 costing that amount of money.
But of course, if you did buy it for $100 back then, you still have it. Boy, have you made your money back!
Really?
Looking at eBay listings right now, most of them average at a minimum. I'm looking at maybe 180, with the average being 250.
Yeah, that's about right. Have to factor in inflation.
Oh, here we go. Here's one for 500 that's supposedly still wrapped up and everything.
Yeah, sealed. People
Uh,
buy the sealed games. By the way, I see that in Japan it was released for $100.
The article I'm reading said it was 194. Oh, the equivalent of US $100. That's where I got it from.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was released in the United States in 1995 for $80.
Okay, that's a bit more along the lines of what I was thinking.
Yeah, still, I mean, $80 is a bit.
That is pricey. I want to say that's why I paid for the PS1 version, though.
I think originally when the PS1 version came out, I think it was 60.
Maybe it was 60. This is years back.
Yeah.
I know it was more than the regular PlayStation 1 game. Because I remember being in the store, it's like, do I want to buy this? Like, I read it's a good RPG, but it's a bit more expensive. For this price, I could get a regular game and the greatest hits game. I remember thinking something along those lines.
See how much it was. I remember. I don't want to talk too much about Lunar 1 because now you're going to get me down on the line of how I got the game. I think it like the shocking thing about both Lunar and Lunar 2 back then is that you got all these extra goodies and it didn't cost that much more than a regular game.
Oh, I loved the manual, the leather-bound manual, and then the cloth map. Although my favorite part was still the behind-the-scenes making of disc.
Yeah, and then I don't have that anymore. I don't think my copies come with that. I don't have my original copies, first and foremost. I got the got them secondhand much later. I don't think I have the remake disc or I think I have the music disc though. Anyway, yeah, those are really cool. Just to go back and watch them and just getting those insights from working designs.
Yeah, I have not watched the one for Lunar 2 yet. I do. Well, I have acquired it. I'll leave it at that. But I did really love the making of Lunar 1, especially how they showed the techniques for how they did a lot of the remade animated artwork.
Yeah.
Well, which again, the animated artwork in Lunar 2, excellent as well.
Oh, even on the Sega CD. The Sega CD is fantastic. It's probably the best on the system.
Oh, yeah. Like, from what I played of Lunar 1, again, I never played Lunar 2, but the original game had, again, some excellent anime style artwork. Definitely gave me an Akira Toriyama feel, even though he didn't do the artwork in these. It gave me that feel.
Yeah. I didn't get Toriyama vibes. But there is a reason for that. And it's because they with the remaster with the remakes, they did go with a professional animation studio.
Oh, okay, that explains it. So, before we get ready to close this out, final thoughts on Lunar 2. If you were to play it today, have you played the remaster? I guess I better start there.
It's been a long time. So I'm just saying no, but I have played it. But it's been like, geez, 25 years since I played
Okay.
the remaster.
Because I was kind of wondering, which version would you recommend a newcomer?
I would still say, a newcomer just because of accessibility reasons. I'm not going to say. But for accessibility reasons alone, I would say go with the remaster. You can play it on, the remake, not the remaster. Play the remake because the remaster is of the remake. Just because it is more accessible, you can play it on more systems. Cheaper to get. That way you can actually play the game with all the modern conveniences and everything. So play the remake, play it via the remaster for accessibility reasons only. But that's where I sit. I still personally I played the remake in a very long time, but I would say that I would probably personally like the Sega CD version more, but I would have to recommend the remake to people instead.
Yeah, I would say give the game's worth giving your money to the people who have made the newest rendition of it, which is available on modern consoles and Steam right now. That being said, if you enjoy what you're playing, because you've bought it, I wouldn't really argue if one were to go ahead and acquire the Sega CD and the PlayStation 1 versions through non-traditional means.
Of course.
Just to be able to experience the gameplay and experience that original voice acting. Although I do think the new voice actors also did knock it out of the park.
The reason we talked with Vic review him because they were Vic was trying to get gung ho to include the original voice acting performances and the working design scripts. So that's something to consider. It is different nowadays, as you pointed out. And here's the other thing: if you want to emulate the Sega CD version, I don't see why that's an issue. Obviously, no one wants to make that version available for purchase. So if they don't want your money, why should you give that to them?
Yeah,
Play it anyway.
It's not like you're stealing from Working Designs. They're not exactly around anymore.
No. Well, you're not stealing from Game Arts either because they don't want to sell it to you. So, or whoever put it out there. It's not Gung Ho. Gung Ho doesn't want your money for the original versions. So who gives a shit? Just download it and play it. It's the way you want to do it.
Yep, although I do fully encourage buying the new version because you can tell they did put some work in it. They put some love into it.
Sure. If you want to play or 2, or the original Lunar for that matter, buy the remastered version. I bought the remastered version. I have a version of the remastered version. So if I'm willing to buy it, then again, I'm kind of a Lunar super fan. But if I will buy it and if I have the means to play all of these original games, and you want to play it, you probably should contribute the money there too, just so we can show that we care about this game and this franchise.
Yeah, and honestly, it's $40 for both games, so $20 a game. Not bad. For especially for the gameplay you're getting out of both of them.
Yep.
So before we wrap it up, Chris, I do believe you're a host of another podcast that you may want to talk about.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And well, thank you for having me on, first and foremost. I loved talking some Lunar with you. But if you want to find my other stuff, we're over at the Retro Hangover podcast. You can find the link there at linktr.ee/Retro Hangover. And what we do there is we talk about retro video games. Myself and Shane Selter, who I do the podcast with, technically it's a bi-weekly podcast, and when we're not talking about video games, we're talking about video game related things in a top 5 list called The Flight. So we have something for you every week that's retro gaming involved. Go ahead and go to that site, linktr.ee/Retro Hangover. That's our link tree, and we hope to see you around.
And if you're looking for that link right now, you can also go to the show notes page, check the link tree. There will be a link to the Retro Hangover show in that link tree as well. So without further ado, Chris, thank you for taking time to record this with me and dealing with me because I am a week late because the past couple weeks, as some listeners know behind the scenes in the Discord, have been total chaos for me, including right now where my house currently does not have internet. Therefore, why we're recording this and we're doing it live at the park in Vincennes.
Well, hopefully, safe for you. I don't want you to be unsafe just trying to get an episode out. But I was glad that you could have me on today. I was glad we were able to knock that out. So thank you again. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, it's a very safe park. Weed Lane is a few blocks down, so we're good.
Weed Lane.
There literally is. There is literally, as I was coming down the road to the park, I found a road that's literally Weed Lane. I'm here like, how apropos.
Yes.
But no, I am perfectly good. I'm just saddened by the fact that after work I got home only to find a tree down in the road and construction crews working. I'm here like, uh-oh. And then my son's like, hey, guess what?
Damn.
But it's all good. Like I said, I definitely wanted to get this episode going. And like I said, we've been talking about doing this episode for, 3 months now? Maybe even longer?
Since December. So it's almost been 6 months.
Oh, excellent. I think I told you before I had even beaten the game. It's like, hey, I know you really enjoy this game. I think you'd be great to have on. I just got to beat it first.
Yep. I'm glad you played it. More people playing it, it's good.
Yeah, I really did enjoy my time with it. So thank you again. And for those listening, if you're looking for more podcast goodness, be sure to check out Retro Hangover. And until then, we're going to close this out with some more music from Lunar 2.
A legend of old, a story forgotten, the memories of true love stolen from time. A darkened romance, try hard to remember, a doorway to the heart beckons your mind. And now a corner of night can lift the weight from you. It's in your hands, if just you understand. A destiny slipped away. Just open your mind. The way lies before you. A doorway to the heart you seek to find. Love can change the key you hold into a gilded chest. So tear a memory from your mind and make it so real. Blue star above me, your mystic shimmer tells of love I should know. Whisper your secret to soothe my doubt and calm my fear. Blue star above me, when shadows lengthen and the dark looms ever closer, turn on your shine and hold me near. When the comet pulls the bow, the stars begin their dance. The time when destiny and hope will give birth again. Then if it's too late, I'll find a glimmer of the light I should know. Only that moment can show me what I hold so dear. Until that moment, I'll find some comfort in the love within my slumber. Turn on your charm and hold me near. Blue star above me, your mystic shimmer tells of love I should know. Whisper your secret to soothe my doubt and calm my fear. Blue star above me, when shadows lengthen and the dark looms ever closer, turn on your shine and hold me
As always, thank you for checking out another episode of Afterglow. If you're looking for more of Chris with Retro Hangover, be sure to check out our show notes. You will find a link tree. In that link tree, click it, scroll all the way down to the Friends of the Show, and towards the bottom of that, you're going to find links to many people who have been on the show, including the Retro Hangover podcast, of which Chris is on. Other friends of the show include Bad Secret Media, Retro Gaming Roundup, the Lost and Gone podcast, Grim Glow, The Main Quest. You'll also find some videos with the Reviews Brothers. You'll also find the Cyberpod Network. You'll find Slage's book, a special friend of the show, Player vs. Everything, which you can read right now. On top of that, many more links in that link tree, including other places to listen, whether you want to listen to Apple Podcasts, you want to listen on Spotify, you'd rather stream on YouTube. All those links are there. There is a merch store if you'd like to grab an Afterglow sticker, magnet, t-shirt, coffee mug, pick your poison. It's all there. There is also a link to the Patreon where for just $1 a month, you can get a shout out in every episode and make me re-record it. So if you want to make me re-record that segment, be sure to drop your $1 down and I'll have to redo it. Won't that be great? Outside of all that, as always, thank you for taking time to listen. We're going to close this, as always, with some words from some of our friends of the show.
For more than 15 years, Retro Gaming Roundup has been the centre of your retro gaming universe, with top 10s, interviews, game reviews, news, and much more from all over the globe. Be sure to tune in every month for a new dose of Retro Gaming Roundup. That's RetroGamingRoundup.com.
Hello and welcome to the Reviews Brothers. It's me, Martin, and you can join me on YouTube where I have hundreds of videos covering a huge range of video game topics. I've got top 10s, hidden gems, console-focused A to Zs, as well as dedicated videos to topics like Doom mods, 3D platform games, ninja games, pirate games, and more. I cover all systems from Commodore 64 right up to modern consoles. Nothing gaming is off the table. So be sure to search for the Reviews Brothers on YouTube, as well as on Instagram and TikTok for hundreds of retro and modern video game reviews.
Hey, this is Toby, one half of the Secret Levels podcast. We're a podcast that goes over old retro games. We go over the history, the story, the gameplay, some fun facts. We even rage a little bit. And then we go and give it a nice 1 to 10 rating to let you know if it's still worth playing. We have over 200 reviews for games on the NES, the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and many other consoles. You can find us on all the major podcasting apps, such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and you can follow us on social media at Secret Levels Pod. Game over, folks.
Imagine the most intense and realistic survival game ever built. Now imagine that you've just been dropped into it. No guides, no wiki, no respawn. Are you ready? Follow Daniel and Grace into a brutal landscape where the environment is just as lethal as the predators roaming it. This isn't about leveling up. It's about surviving a system designed to delete you. PvE, player versus everything. Book 1 of the Condemned in a Console series. Available now on Bookfuddle by Lord Stephen Asher.
Afterglow listeners, it's me, Keith Gasper, coming at you from the #1 retro gaming podcast, the Main Quest Podcast. Come hang out as a guest and I play and discuss a game from the backlog of my childhood. We're talking about our history and the history of the game, and if it's worth checking out today. We're talking about games from the NES, the Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx, Game Boy, and much more. And that's just on the main feed. If you enjoy what you're hearing on Afterglow, you're going to enjoy the Main Quest, and I'm happy to have you. Find the Main Quest on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Spotify, and wherever great podcasts are downloaded.
Hello, my name is Aaron. I'm one half of Super Pod Saga, a topical variety video game podcast fueled entirely by nostalgia and unleaded gasoline. Super Pod Saga, we discuss a different video game topic each and every week. We have new episodes every single Monday covering a different video game topic. More than anything, we want to entertain our listeners and make you feel like you're one of the boys, like you're hanging out at a campfire with some of your best zany, caffeine-powered buddies and just talking about your favorite games and all that stuff. Stop on down to Super Pod Saga. It's on every podcatcher there is. If it's not, let me know and we'll get on it. But again, Super Pod Saga, stop on by.